Hello, my name is Anne, and this is Toby, and this is episode 94 of a Tobyknits podcast. If you are new to my channel, welcome. I talk about knitting on Mondays, cross stitch on Wednesdays, and quilting on Fridays. And today's video, though, is going to be just a little bit different. I'm actually going to show you how I make my mitered squares. So check this out. Okay, so today I'm going to show you how I join my new square onto the existing one. I'm not going to actually show you how to do the very first mitered square other than on a piece of paper. If you've never done a mitered square before, basically what you're going to do is you're going to cast on 49 stitches. And the way they're going to work to make your square, because obviously at first they are 49 stitches all on one needle, and I use the 2.75 double pointed needles. They're just the regular double pointed needles. I just take 2 out the package and I stick a little stopper on the end. So now they look like dinky little needles. So you'll have your 49 stitches all in one row on one needle. And then you're going to turn and you're going to knit all the way back. You still have all of your 49 stitches on the one needle. So then the way it's going to work from then on is you're going to, and I'm going to draw it in a different way, you're going to do 23 stitches, then you're going to get to the 3 stitches that will be here in the middle, which you're going to slip one, and then slip one, and then you're going to knit 2 together. And then you're going to slip the knit stitch over. Pass the slip stitch, pass slip stitch over. So that's all going to happen to those 3 stitches right here in the middle. So you're going to slip the first one, you're going to knit these 2 together, and then you're going to pass the slip stitch over the 2 that you've knit together. So in essence, you're getting rid of 2 stitches. And then you're going to knit 23 up this way. So that's how your square will go. And then each row you're decreasing. So you're going to knit 22. You're going to do that little special doodad here, knit 22. Then you're going to knit 21, do your little special, knit 21. All the way till you end up with 3 stitches left. And when you get to those last 3 stitches, you're going to do this little doodad till you end up with 1 stitch left. And then you just cast off. So that's how you do one mitered square. So now I'm going to show you what happens when you get, and I will link to some videos to show you that I haven't. So now what we're going to do is we're still going to be working with 49 stitches, but what we're going to do is we're going to pick up 23 stitches along this side. And I don't slip, I just knit as normal on both sides. So it's easy to see that I am going to go into each one of these holes. You can perfectly see the hole there. And I'm going to go into each one of those all the way down. So I have my little piece of, the first 1 or 2, it is difficult because you have to hold the end at the same time. So that's how I do. There's 1, 2, 3, 3. Can you see that? I'll try and get closer. 4, 5, 6. Make sure to keep pulling that one because it'll want to just run away. 2, 4, 6. In that hole. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Are you all counting with me? 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Let's double check we have 23. 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Okay, so we've done that and we are on the right side, by the way. This is the right side and you can tell that's the wrong side because that's where we picked the stitches up previous. So now we need to cast on 3 stitches that are going to be for that middle bit here. And I do a backwards cast on. I think that's what this is called. But I make a loop with my finger, twist my finger down, and then put the stitch on. And it kind of does a loop there, and it looks like it's a stitch. So 1, 2, 3. Now hands up if anybody knows how many other stitches I now have to add on. Yep, 23. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Now, yes, I could just have straightforward done 26, but I like to always remember the 3 and then the 23. So now I'm just going to double check I actually have 49 stitches. And I do. So now from here, I'm just going to turn my work and I'm going to knit all the way back. Just be careful when you pull this next, your stitches, that you don't over pull and pull it right off, because it's a pain in the ass to try to fix a lost stitch with this method of cast on. It's not as easy. So just go nice and slow all the way to the end. Okay, so now I've got to the end of that row that I've just knit all the way back for. So we're going to turn our work again. So we're now back on the right side. Now, I don't put, some people put stitch markers to mark which is the right and which is the wrong side of their work. I read my work and I always know that the tails are always on this side. They're always on the right hand side, which is the right side of my work. So I know that this is the right side for me, so I don't have to mark it. So now we're going to get back into this rhythm as if we were doing the original square, and we're going to knit 23, do the special little thing and knit 23. So we'll go here and we will knit 23. Oh, whoops. I find this yarn really splitty. So has anybody attempted a mitered square? Do you do it this way? There's so many different ways people do it. Sometimes they slip stitch at the end and the front and the back, and other times they do a different style of double decrease in the middle. There's lots of different ways to do it. 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. So now I'm going to slip one knitwise, and again this is picked up of a thread, so I have to be careful. I'll just do that. Slip one knitwise. Let's get rid of that. Knit 2 together. So we're going to knit the next 2 together. So we've just decreased a stitch there, and then we're going to pass this slip stitch over, and we've decreased a stitch there, and now there should be 23. 1, 2, 3, 4, 10, 11, 21, 22, 23. Okay, so we've got that far. Now we're going to turn our work again, and all we're going to do now on the next row is simply just knit, except I do something different, and I learned this from somebody else. And again, because I look at my work and notice my stitches, this helps me when I get round to the next row where we do the double decrease. If I don't feel like counting, for example, if I don't want to count the 22 or count the 21, this will help me do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to knit 23 stitches, then I'm going to purl one, which should be our center stitch, and then I'm going to knit 23 stitches again. So let's just do that, and I will meet you back after I've done that. 23 stitches, purl one, 23 stitches, 22, 23. So here is where I've done those. This bottom border will even out, but there were a couple of loose stragglers there of yarn, so that's why it looks a bit like that. So now we've done 2 rows, so now we're going to turn, and now we're going to do 22 stitches, the little thing, and 22 stitches. And here is where I read my work, because you will see here, you can see all the garter bumps here, and then right there, there's no garter bump, it's the V, because that was the purl stitch we did. So I know that this one will be the stitch that's going to be knit 2 together. So I know I just have to go all the way to here and don't have to count. But we'll do it together so I can show you what I mean. So it should now be 22. So we are going to knit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. And there you'll see there's the purl stitch and there's the one before. So we just slip that knitwise, knit these two together, pass the slip stitch over, and now there'll be 22 to knit to the end. I hope you find this interesting. I've not really done very many knitting, quilting, or cross-stitch tutorials. And that's what this week is actually all about. Wednesday is the finishing for a project for cross-stitch. And Friday will be, we're gonna make a block together from the brick house quilt. So I've been trying to sort out all the best different camera angles so that I can see it. Okay, so the next side that we're gonna do is just a straightforward knit. So every other row is every wrong side row is a knit. And again, here's how I know I'm on the wrong side. There's no tail here. So as you get further in, it just becomes this straight side. There's no tails. So I know I'm on the wrong side now. And also another great way to read your work and not have to count 22 stitches, purl 1, knit 22 stitches is if you look, you'll see this one right here, which is always obviously going to be level with this edge. It's got the 2 bumps because you have slipped over 2 stitches at the same time. So that's another easy way to know where you are. So that's all you keep doing. You just knit 22, purl 1, knit 22, turn, knit 21, slip 1, knit 2 together, pass a slip stitch over, knit 21, turn, knit 21, purl 1, knit 20, and so on. So I'll see you when I get towards the end. Okay, so I am this far and I have a couple more rows to go. So knit 1. You can see where my little V shape is there, so I know I have to slip the one before it, knit 2 together, pass the slip stitch over, knit 1. Now we're down to 3, turn, knit 3, purl the middle one, knit, so it's knit 1, purl 1, knit 1, turn, and this is where we're going to finish off. We are just going to slip that one, knit these 2 together, and pass the slip stitch over, and we have 1 stitch left. And that's all I have left of the yarn. I'm just going to snip that off, and I'm just going to push that through there. Of course, when you're trying to do this on a camera, it doesn't want to work. Now the yarn's splitting. There we go. Make the hole bigger and then pop it through. And there it is done. And there is how I added on that with that little tiny bit left. I hope you have enjoyed this video. Give me a thumbs up if you liked it. Leave me some comments below. And I'll see you next week. Bye.